Before we do any type of acceleration work with our athletes, it's important to make sure that they have the correct biomechanical position when they're accelerating so they can produce force against the ground efficiently. So we use a number of different progressive drills, wall drills, to help us achieve that biomechanical efficiency when the athlete is accelerating. So the first drill, we're going to look at Alex's position against the wall. So Alex, you want to turn around, put your hands against the wall, okay? From here, we want to make sure that he has a 45-degree lean against the wall. He's strong from head to toe. His chest is in a neutral position. His hands are against the wall, shoulder width, or in line with his shoulder. His hips aren't lagging in, and he's nice and strong through the glute, and his heels are off the ground. So this right here is the optimal position in order to be able to produce force in the acceleration phase of sprinting. So the second progression to our wall drills is our acceleration holds. So what we want to do, we want to try and get our athletes into the position where they're going to be producing force with their legs, and we want to get them to hold that position under tension. So Alex, when you're ready, turn around and at a 45-degree angle away from the fence. What we want to ask Alex to do is, we want to ask him with his left leg to go into the optimal position where he's going to be producing force when he accelerates. Now, what we want to do here is, we look for what's called a 90-90-90. So we look for 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee, and 90 degrees at the ankle, okay? So what we want to try and achieve is 90-degree flexion at the hip, the knee, and the ankle. And when we achieve 90-degree flexion at those 3 points, and our foot remains between 15 to 30 centimeters off the ground in the acceleration phase, that's the optimal position where we're able to produce force. What we want to avoid is the knee coming up too high. Bring your knee up too high. As you get rounding of the lumbar spine, you lose tension in the hip, and it stops you accelerating and producing force into the ground at a very high rate. Okay, good man. So bring up your right leg now. Good. Good, chest out. So right there we can see there's a perfectly straight line. He's strong from head to toe. He's up on his heel. He's contracted through his hips. He's under control through his pelvis. He's got a great 90-90-90 angle going on in his hip, his knee, and his ankle. And he's in a good position to produce a high amount of force in the acceleration phase of sprinting. So the third progression we're going to look at is a thing called loaded drives. So what we're going to ask the athlete to do is load up on one leg and drive through aggressively, like they're breaking through a pane of glass with their opposite leg. What this teaches the athlete is that drive-like action in the acceleration phase of sprinting and how important it is. So Alex, when you're ready, turn around, get your 45-degree angle against the fence, okay? Start with your knee up in your acceleration holds. When I say load, I want you to load back on your left leg. And when I say drive, I want you to aggressively drive through with that swing leg. Load. Okay, from here, we want to make sure that all of the weight, his hip and his knee, is over his toe. And this leg should be holding all of his weight. And drive. Good. And load. And drive. And load. And drive. Good. Change legs. And load. And drive. And load. Make sure you triple extend. And drive. Good. There you go. And load. And drive. Good. And again, every single time finishing strong, head to toe, good control at the hip, chest out, head in the neutral position, looking at the ground, finishing a strong acceleration phase. So next we're going to look at marching. So it's really important when we're accelerating that our legs produce force, but our upper body and our core and our hips maintain stability, so it allows that force to be produced into the ground. So a great way to do that is marching against the fence. So when you're ready, Alex, set yourself up against the fence, good 45-degree angle, okay? And going into your acceleration holds, and from there, marching back and forth, good. Again, maintaining a very stable upper body and core, and all that should be moving is the leg should be moving around the upper body. And again, every time he's maintaining or he's achieving his 90-90-90 with his ankle, his knee, and his hip. So now that we're happy with how our athlete sets himself up or herself up in terms of their angle, we're happy with the mechanical action that goes on around the leg. Next, we want to look at the speed at which we can exchange our legs during that acceleration phase. So what we use is a drill called a single leg exchange. So again, we're going to ask Alex to set himself up against the fence. Again, good strong position, 45-degree angle. We're going to ask him to come up into his acceleration holds. He's got his 90, 90, and 90 degrees at the ankle, knee, and the hip. And on my clap, we're going to get him to exchange from his right leg to his left leg into that acceleration holds. So on my clap, Alex, ready? Good. Change back. Ready? Good. Change back. Ready? Good. Now stay right there. Good thing about Alex, strong from head to toe, good stability at the hip. His heel is off the ground. Once that heel is off the ground, you're engaging the glute, which is a very important junction as we're accelerating in order to be able to produce that force. Okay, let's change to the opposite leg. On my clap again. Ready? Good, great stability. Change back. On my clap. Good, super stability. Last time. Good. Okay, so that's a single leg exchange. Just take a break there for a second. Next, we're going to look at a double leg exchange. So that's where we strike the ground and we reload back into that starting position. So again, Alex, jump against the fence, set yourself up, 45-degree angle, good acceleration holds. This time, strike the ground, straight back into that position on my clap. Ready? Good, super. Two more. Super, one more. Good, and again, stability the whole way through. Swap legs. Up on his heel, strong in the hip. Head in the neutral position. Ready? Good. Two more. Good. Last one. Super. Okay, take a break for a second. So that was our double leg exchange. Now we're going to look at a triple leg exchange. This becomes slightly more complex in terms of the movement scale, as you need quite a bit of coordination to make the triple exchange, but it's a good progression for athletes who are more advanced in terms of their movement scale for speed. So again, set yourself up against the fence, and we're going to go through a triple exchange this time. On my clap, we're going to go 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Ready? Good. Ready? Good. Okay. Stop there. We'll talk about this for a second. When you're going through the exchanges, really important to get full triple extension into the ground. Why? So that we make sure that we can produce the force that's required to propel us forward. So when the athlete is doing this, it's not about who can do it the fastest. It's about getting full triple extension into the ground. Once we've achieved the correct movement skill, from there, it's about increasing the speed or the velocity at which the exercise is performed. So let's go back and finish off the last 2 reps on the other side, Alex. 2 on my count. Ready? Good. Super. Last one. Ready? Super. Okay. So now what we're going to look at doing is adding in some accommodating resistance, which gives the athlete some feedback in terms of the force that they're producing. In relation to accommodating resistance with wall drills, the best way to achieve that is with resistance bands. So what we'll do is we'll start with 1 and we'll get Alex to put that around the back of his neck, and from there put his foot through it, Then we'll start with the second, around the back of his neck and through his opposite foot. Okay, so when Alex is ready, set yourself up against the wall. Come up on our toes, 45-degree angle into our acceleration hold position with one foot. Okay, we're going to start with a single leg exchange. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. On my call. Ready? Good. Ready? Good. Ready? Good. Ready? Good. Okay, take a quick break. Good. So what the bands are doing, they're giving some feedback to the athlete in terms of the force he's producing, and it actually allows them to produce more force at a quicker rate due to the accommodating resistance. So let's look at that exact same movement again, except we'll do the double leg exchange this time. Good, and again, on my call, we'll go 2 on the left, 2 on the right on my clap. Ready? Drive. Good. Drive. Good. Change. Change legs. Good. And drive. Good. And drive. Good. Okay, super. Take a little break. Okay, and we're going to go into the triple exchange this time. And it's important that with the band as well, that we don't get pulled up too high. We keep it at the correct angle, 15 to 30 centimeters off the ground, so that we can produce the force required. So when you're ready against the fence, on my clap, we'll do 1 on the left, we'll do 1 on the right. Drive. Good. Up high on the heel. Good. Drive.